Welcome to the Rime Buddhist Center's Dharma Talk podcast, Achieving Peace Through Compassion. This podcast is a recording of the Dharma Talks given during our Sunday service. This talk was given by Lama Matthew Palden Gocha.
It's been about a month. It's been a minute. Couple months, the Rime Center released a statement, Resisting Oppression, Upholding Compassion, A Path Forward Through the Six Paramitas in Troubled Times. And it guides our response as a Sangha to systematic oppression, attacks on disenfranchised communities, and democratic erosion. This framework emphasizes the six paramitas, or perfections, integrating compassion, wisdom, and ethical integrity into our actions. And today, I wanted to continue our reflection on this statement by focusing on the paramita of diligence. Let me read the verse on this. The statement reads, and I quote, "The assault on democratic values and human rights demands diligent action. We cannot afford to be complacent or paralyzed by fear. Diligence is the drive to take consistent and vigorous action, and the rising tide of injustice demands it. We are called to act without complacency, persisting in our efforts to change the systems that harm others. This involves using our energy not only to resist harmful policies, but also to build and promote more equitable alternatives. Diligence means actively resisting harmful policies, educating ourselves and others, and working tirelessly to create a more just, compassionate society. It also means cultivating inner strength and resilience so we are not discouraged by setbacks. Like a Bodhisattva, we are called to persevere in our efforts to alleviate suffering, no matter how daunting the task may seem." End quote. So this morning I want to offer a reflection to that verse titled, "Tending the Flame, a Bodhisattva's Resolve Against the Darkening Tide of Injustice." This title carries both a poetic imagery and a moral weight. It speaks of a flame, our inner light of bodhicitta, our courage and our resolve. And it names a darkening tide, a symbol of the injustices and suffering we see in our world today. Between these two stands the Bodhisattva, not as a distant ideal, but as a living vow that we can all embody. To tend the flame in times of darkness is the work of a Bodhisattva, and that is our work now. This reflection resonates deeply with me when placed beside the Kuan Yin of the Southern Sea. Do you all know that statue at the Nelson Atkins? It's that very popular statue there. This iconic Bodhisattva statue at the Nelson Atkins Museum is a powerful embodiment of poised, grounded compassion in a world of suffering. The darkening tide, representing widespread injustice and pain, echoes the stormy seas over which Kuan Yin resides. According to East Asian Buddhist iconography, so this form of Kuan Yin watches over those caught in the metaphorical and literal floods of samsara, conflict, grief, displacement, and oppression. In the statue, Kuan Yin sits in the royal ease pose, one leg draped down, one arm relaxed across the knee, and a calm, compassionate expression. There's no tension, there's no panic, no withdrawal. This posture, so serene, yet alert and responsive, mirrors exactly the role of a bodhisattva. And though carved in wood and hundreds of years old, this Kuan Yin statue still radiates presence. It is a living vow made visible. She does not flee the world's pain, nor does she collapse under it. She abides, ready to respond. And in that sense, she tends the flame simply by being fully present, anchored, watchful, and compassionate. Just as this reflection calls us to embody diligence and compassion in a time of great need, the statue of Kuan Yin calls us to do the same, not through dramatic action, but through inner steadiness and outward readiness. Her gaze is neither detached nor sentimental. It is the look of someone who sees suffering clearly and responds, not with fear, but with fearless love. So when I say that to tend the flame in times of darkness is the work of a bodhisattva, This is not a metaphor. This is our daily vow. Guanyin of the Southern Sea embodies this threshold, the meeting place between safety and suffering, between the luminous and the turbulent. She bridges the flame and the tide. So let me return to our statement. And again, the statement begins with a direct truth. The assault on democratic values and human rights demands diligent action. And these, again, are not abstract words. We are living in times of deep social, political, economic, and ecological unrest. Injustices persist in laws and systems in daily life. And yet the statement continues, we cannot afford to be complacent or paralyzed by fear. Complacency is the comfort that disconnects us. Fear is the overwhelm that freezes us. But the Dharma offers another way, diligence. In the Mahayana path, diligence is one of the 6 perfections. In Tibetan, Sonju, it means joyful, focused effort. And Mipam Rinpoche says, diligence is taking joy in what is virtuous, positive, and wholesome, and then engaging with it. It makes one fully accomplish what is virtuous, end quote. It's not frantic striving, but deep engagement grounded in love. Diligence is the vow that says, I will keep showing up even when it's hard, even when I'm tired, even when I don't see immediate change. And at the Rime Center, where Tibetan and non-sectarian Mahayana lineages meet, we draw strength from those who came before us. Shantideva, Yeshe Tsogyal, the Dalai Lamas. They lived and taught this diligence through war, exile, and loss. They never gave up the Bodhisattva vow. And their example reminds us that diligence is not forced. It is a flame fled by purpose, not ego. In chapter 6, verse 10 of The Way of the Bodhisattva, Shantideva even says, if there is a remedy when trouble strikes, what reason is there for dejection? And if there is no help for it, what use is there in being glum? End quote. This clarity allows us to act not with panic, but with peace. So the phrase from our statement, we are called to act with complacence. We are called to act without complacency, persisting in our efforts to change the systems that harms others, makes something very clear. This is about systems, not just individual bad actors. That distinction is key. Systematic harm, whether it's racism, economic inequality, environmental degradation, does not arise from isolated choices, but is built into structures, into laws, into habits of culture and power. And because the harm is systemic, our response must also be systemic. And that means long-term dedication, not one protest, not one vote, and not one season of outrage, but a commitment to justice as a path, to compassion as a practice, and to diligence as a lifelong vow. And that is the heart of today's message, this vow, to free all beings from suffering, no matter how long it takes. The Bodhisattva does not avoid suffering. They meet it with open eyes and an open heart. And this is a deeper calling to our practice, to see clearly the harm in the world, to hold it with compassion, and to act from that compassion. This is sacred activism. Justice work that arises from our vow to benefit beings not from anger, but from wisdom and love. Let us remember to serve others is not a distraction from the path, it is the path. So the statement continues, this involves using our energy not only to resist harmful policies, but also to build and promote more equitable alternatives. And this is a very powerful teaching. True resistance is not just saying no to what harms. It's also saying yes to what heals. In our Sunday service, we even chant weekly, do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Blessed One, end quote. Diligence means actively resisting harmful policies, educating ourselves and others, and working tirelessly to create a more just and compassionate society. So we are called not only to resist what is broken, but to build what is beautiful, fair, and compassionate. And this is the work right here in this present moment. Artists, educators, healers, organizers, caregivers. It's also the work of everyday bodhisattvas, including each one of us in this room. And as members of the Rime Sangha, you know this. We don't just critique the world, we feed the hungry, we shelter the vulnerable, we teach the Dharma to those with no access. This is how we build a new world, rooted in love, grounded in the present. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, if you are grounded firmly in the present moment, you can very well make plans for the future, end quote. Social transformation is not a weekend project. It's lifelong work. It takes energy, it takes heart, it takes time. And that's why this next statement matters so much. It also means cultivating inner strength and resilience so we are not discouraged by setbacks. Without inner nourishment, our flame goes out. Grief and despair overwhelm us. But with practice, with community, with the Dharma, we return again and again to our source: meditation, spiritual friendship, study, retreat. These are not escapes from the work, they are the work. They nourish the flame so it does not go out. Even Avalokiteshvara with 1,000 arms is held by a peaceful face and a centered heart. At the Rime Center, our emphasis on practice and community is essential. Sangha is not just support, it is protection. It is the hearth where our shared flame is nurtured. And our statement ends with, like a bodhisattva, we are called to persevere in our efforts to alleviate suffering, no matter how daunting the tasks may seem. So I ask you, what is the flame that you are tending in your life? What does it ask of you today, this week, and this year? May we each listen deeply to that flame. May we guard it, nourish it, and offer it to the world. Bodhicitta is precious. May it arise from whom it is not arisen. Once arisen, may it not diminish, but ever grow and flourish. Again, we say those words every week. And when the tide rises, let us remember we are not alone on the path. We walk with all bodhisattvas, past, present, and future. We walk with each other. Let our practice be the ground, our compassion the compass, and our diligence the wind that keeps the flame alive. May our lives be a vow made visible. I hope this talk has been beneficial to you. May your week be filled with compassion, wisdom, gratefulness, and joy.
Thank you for listening to the Rime Buddhist Center's Dharma Talk podcast. Music was provided by Barefoot Bran Music. Please consider supporting the Rime Buddhist Center by making a donation at our website at www.rimecenter.org/donate.